कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Dear devotees, with the grace of the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, divine knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and on the path of the devotion, today we are going to understand chapter number 3, verses number 32 and 33. Ye tved abhyasunyato nanutishtanti te matam sarvajnana vimudastan vidvi nashtana chetasah sadrasham cheshtate swasyaha prakrutirjnanavanapi prakrutim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Ye tved abhya sunyato nanutishtanti me matam. सर्वज्ञान विमूढ़ास्तान नष्टान चेतसः. Bhagavan Sri Krishna actually very nicely today is talking, and we think basically कि भाई in our life कि भाई what we are learning from the Bhagavad Gita, incredible, wordless basically. 5,000 years ago, yetved abhyasunyato nanutishtanti me mata. The first thing Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, ke sarvajnana vibhunastan nashtana chetasa. Nashtana chetasa. Nashta thai gala, buddhi thi nashta thai gala. If I use that word, it's called the brain dead. Brain dead means ke the people can't think, personalities can't think beyond, in English what this is, blinker. They just think certain point. But before Bhagavan reached that line, ye tved abhya sunyato nanu tishtanti me matam. The manushya, human, the path which Bhagavan has showed us to walk on it, which is called the dharmana path, path of the righteousness. There will be a human and there are the Manushya who point the finger on the Bhagavan. This is what I am not saying is, who says? Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. Beauty part is, why Bhagavan has to say like that? Bhagavan knows that there are the people who pointing the finger on his work as well. And the path which Bhagavan has shown us, they don't walk on it, they always walk on opposite path. And then Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, that type of the Vimurnastan Murk. Bhagavan Sri Krishna has used this word, is called the Murk. Fool people. And why they are a fool? Because says, Nashtana Chetasaha. They have lost all the senses to think under the moha. Moha means attraction, attachment towards anything. They only can see that one, that's it. Nothing else beyond they can see. That is why I started with the blinker stories. Sadrasham chestate savasya prakrutir jnanavanapi. Then Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, they are performing under them prakruti, them nature which they have created themselves. Prakrutim yadi bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Why we are now, why you are, are feeling bad about those people's consequences, which is they going to be faced. Now let us try to understand in further depth about it, in depth, what exactly means Bhagwan. So I will explain this way. One day the two friends, they went. So one was a devotee, another was technical non-believer of the Bhagwan. But they both was friend. In our day-to-day life also we also face, we are devotees towards the Bhagwan and they are the people who don't believe. So they always ask funny things. And they point, oh, you people don't know this, whatever it is. That exactly was normal talk was happening. So the both friends decided to go from A town to B town. And halfway through, they decided, okay, now let us to have a little bit relax, because now it will be take another 3-4 hour journey. So let's have a relax little bit. So they sat down under the big mango tree. Nice mango trees. And shadow was very nice. And they both was sitting there. The non-believer says to believer, you see, you always tell Bhagwan. But your Bhagwan don't have a brain. He said, on what ground are you talking about? Your Bhagwan don't know how to create. He said, but okay, tell me what you have felt it. Because we are doing journey, there is no talk here. But he says, look at this now. Such a big, huge tree. Small mango. What is stupidity here? And such a big land there, such a small land and big watermelon. Don't you think that your Bhagwan don't understand? If he has to put this mango on the ground and those watermelon come here, How many watermelon can grow and how beautiful this tree look. You can't even see the mango here from far. But if there is a watermelon, you can see, oh, how beautiful, fruitful tree. People attention goes there, and then if I was that your Bhagwan position, I would have done that. Then other person said, okay, as you wish, I can't say anything because this is your logic. Okay, let's nicely sleep. So he was sleeping nicely, and then the small tiny mango is small tiny, but kachi keri ne kehvay, like raw one, like pickle mango, is a pickle mango, it called it. Somehow the bird was passing, and that pickle mango falls and straight came on his nose. The person who was raising the question, on his nose came. And you know that from far from that pickle mango come and touch just your nose, what can happen? Suddenly, what happened here? He said, the mango falls. Hey, is my nose cut? And then he said, think about if it was a watermelon. Think about it was watermelon. Subject is, but Bhagavan already has said, okay, we will find in this world this kind of the personality. Either we can use the stupid or foolish or whatever word we use. Okay, they will always raise the question on the Bhagavan too. While the Bhagavan was there was a Shishupal, who was always against the Krishna Bhagavan. When the Bhagavan Sri Ram was there, that time too, he did not manage to please everybody, starting from the Manthara till the Ravana. And I always say, many times people say, okay, Satyug was good, Dwapar was good, and we are living in a Kali Yuga time. I said, every Yuga was bad. Why? Because we must try to understand that Bhagavan Sri Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, one line is clear. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever the dharma will be in a declinement, then I am going to come. So why the Bhagavan Sri Ram came in Satyug time? Because of dharma was in decline. Means that there was a lot of pap karma there. We comparing our pap karma because we seeing ourselves, but that time, why Bhagavan has to come? First, Bhagavan don't come just like that. You think if if something happen here in our area, or one house get robbery, or we think a president will come from that Pretoria to here to resolve the case. Can it possible? He got his system. Everybody got system. When the things goes extreme, then he said, okay, now is my time to come. When the things goes extreme, systematic I'm talking about. Similarly, Bhagavan also, he has his own, he put first Rishimuni, sages, preachers, guide, sadhus, ashrams, all those are his representative who does the job to create that path of the spirituality and everything. But finally, beyond the control, nobody listen to them and nobody understand to them or nobody want to, then finally the supreme power come. That means the dharma, that time when the Bhagavan Sri Ram came, when the Krishna Bhagavan came, that time the dharma was in an extreme adharma, extreme unrighteousness level, where nobody could control. That is why he came. Now we are talking about a Satyug. With Satyug time, it was that situation. So the Kali Yuga time, we are actually far better than the Satyug. At least our dharma is not in that hardly declinement. So we are not that good people to will see the Bhagavan. Maybe our fourth generation or fifth generation or 10th generation will see the Bhagavan. because that time the adharma will be in its own peak. So we are not that good people. So let our 10th, we wish best for our 10th generation to see the Bhagwan because he will come here. Subject, what I'm trying to say is, the Vyakhya, when we talk about dharma, adharma, Bhagwan Sri Krishna is giving us so many answers today. In that time too, there was a people who was pointing the finger towards the Bhagwan. So who we are? We are nothing. We are also going to be pointed finger. But Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, ke bhai, sarva sadrasham cheshtate swasya prakrutir jnana vanapi. In that case, we can consider ke bhai, they performing the things under them swabhava. Swabhava means ke prakriti, nature which they have developed. Prakritim yandi bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. And a jnani personality also perform under them level of the maturity, IQ, and level of the knowledge. They perform duties according to that one too. So everybody have them level of the thinking. Some people cannot think beyond a certain level. Is not our problem. Bhagwan Sri Krishna, again I'm repeating again, and I had took almost 2 weeks about explanation, that Bhagwan Sri Krishna has tried it every single thing to convince the Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra. Lastly, Bhagwan Sri Krishna reached that level ke bhai, I will be the peace messenger to make it easy for your life. But that's how it is. But if the things wanted to this way, to go in a war, then Bhagwan did not manage to stop that. Prior to that, in Ram, when we talk about Bhagwan Sri Ram time too, Bhagwan didn't went just like that, I want to do the war. No. The first, Bhagwan sent Hanumanji Maharaj in Lanka to give a message. This is only one monkey is coming and destroying your all golden things. All luxury is destroying, only one monkey is coming here. That monkey also started different way. He didn't went straight, okay, I'm here to messenger of the Bhagwan, now I want to destroy your Lanka. No. He also kept it himself in line. He first found it who is a devotee here. Likewise, we go any other town, we first look where is the mandir. And then second we look where is a vegetarian restaurant. Like when we go to the other places, what we first look, tell me now. If we have to stay a little bit longer, 3, 4, 5 days, in these days, cell phone, so we first look, okay, where is the restaurant? Because we are a vegetarian people, or we need a prayer places. So same thing Hanumanji Maharaj did there. He first looked who is in this Rakshas community, that somebody will be there who is going to be worshipped. So then first he looked. And beauty part, this is what Hanumanji Maharaj is teaching to us. To know the devotee person's devotional, do not go to his or her house 8 o'clock in the morning. Go to the 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning. Because the true devotee who has given his devotees genuinely to attach with Bhagwan, they always will be awake between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, irrespective of what. That's why you can that's when we can understand what level of the devotion is. Okay, we can understand senior people. If you're watching, please do not take yours level personally. Because we can understand if you are 80-year-old person, I can't expect you the senior citizens exempted from all those things. But what I'm trying to say is younger personality, younger devotion. So the Vibhishan wasn't too old, so it's fine. So, Brahma Murata, Hanumanji Maharaj decided to look where it is. અને બ્રહ્મ મુહૂર્તમાં રાક્ષસો ઊંઘે. The Rakshas always sleep in a Brahma Muhurat. Exempted senior citizen. I have to put disclaimer here because it's YouTube here. You see, આપણે અંદર હોય તો ચાલી જાય. Exempted the senior citizens, sick person and small child. But I'm talking about the young devotees. But so the Bhagwan, everybody was sleeping and then Vibhishan started Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, whatever. Hanumanji Maharaj said, okay, now this is my first house. He went there. He said, okay, he did not went as like Hanumanji, let me try what. So everything process went and finally they realized, okay, Hanumanji Maharaj realized this is a genuine devotee. Then he decided to start talk to him. Okay, bhai, look, I'm here. Explain your brother. Okay, this is not easy. What he's thinking. Release the Sita Mata. So then, the biggest disaster will be avoidable. Vibhishan says, I understand too, but unfortunately my brother will not understand. But I will try. It's not, I'm not going to try. And then next morning in the assembly, before Hanumanji Maharaj went, Vibhishan has spoke to the Ravan, bhai, this is not right what you're doing, please. And Ravan, he said, sit down. You can't tell me what I'm doing, sit down. Anyway, then after the second phase of the Hanumanji Maharaj started, okay, bhai, now I'm hungry, I want to eat. Ashok Vatika, Sita Mata he met. Now I want to hungry. The Sita Mata says there are the fruits and everything, but try to not to disturb the other tree. Whatever you want to take it, you must take it softly, silently. Hanumanji Maharaj said, okay, no problem. And then after he was trying to softly, without disturbing any other tree, and those security guards, he says, oh, this monkey came, pointing the bhala and everything. He says, now unfortunately I can't do anything now. So then he started taking all the big plant out and throw it on the ground. Oh, what is happening here now? They went to the Ravan. Then Ravan's son Meghnad and many other came, one monkey. And they started arguing and then started actually a minor war. Hanumanji Maharaj said, you are, okay, I will everything counter you, no problem. You can't touch me because I am Hanumanji Maharaj, you are nothing. That was the starting I'm talking about, to sending a message to the Ravan, ke bhai, this is only one person, thousands are waiting across the ocean. But anyway, and finally, now, in the Brahmastra, who used? Meghnad used against Hanumanji Maharaj. The Brahmastra means in these days, nuclear bomb. In the small war, you cannot use the nuclear bomb. As a person, as an intelligent person. This is small. Like for example, normally I don't talk politics, but like between Ukraine and Russia, whatever is happening, if Russia decide to throw the nuclear bomb, is that valid? Because it's not that stage up today. It's not that stage. And if tomorrow we hear the nuclear bomb is thrown, that means now Russia is desperate. And they reach that level now they can't, the war in extreme and Russia can't defend themselves, that's why they throw the nuclear bomb. Interpretation come like that. So then Meghnad decided to use the Brahmastra. It is extreme last stage. Hanumanji Maharaj said, I have to respect Brahmaji. So what he did, he reduced his power. He accepted the Brahmastra. Means he got captured himself deliberately. And they took him in assembly હવે રોંગ પીપલના એડવાઇઝર પણ રોંગ જ હોય. Honestly, the people who are, in the assembly, in the king assembly, if you keep like your advisors who only say yes, 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 yes to you, then is a fast downhill starts. Advisor's role is not to say yes, 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 yes all the time. Advisor's role is to tell you what is right and what is wrong. But here a story started. Everybody says, no, 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 this is the monkey now, we must kill him and that finished. And all those things, how? And Ravan also, okay. Then Vibhishan says, no, we can't do that. On what ground we are here to do it? Neither he is a Bhagwan Sri Ram, or nor is official war is declared. So what ground you want to kill him? What he has done to wrong to you? He hasn't done anything wrong. He just came and then he wanted to eat the fruit and you all went to kill him. That's it, nothing else. But now we need to give some punishment. But okay, what punishment we can give? Then somebody says, Hanuman, monkey's tail is very important. Cut that tail. Burning. Hanumanji Maharaj said, to maja padegi mujhe. Now let me have a fun nicely. And then whole story started and finally, we all of us know, okay, entire Lanka was burned. But that was the first message to the Ravan. Okay, by just understand now, you're not dealing with anybody else. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Buddhi Sadi Manushya. The intelligent person would have understood that point. But people like Ravan don't understand. And others too did not understood what it is. That is why always, and then one thing I always say, Ravan never said Ram from his mouth at all. Never ever used the Ram word. He always used sannyasi. He never ever used word ke Ram. Because he knows as soon as he is going to use that Ram word, he has to respect the Bhagwan Sri Ram. Because he knows who is the Bhagwan Sri Ram. Because Bhagwan Sri Ram is a Vishnu avatar. Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev and Bhagwan Sri Ram is friend. And not only that, I will come to that story because I still continue the Shivratri. Before Bhagwan Sri Ram left from Ayodhya to Chitrakoot and everything, Bhagwan Sri Ram also worshipped Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev. So to respect Mahadev, Ravan did not use this Ram word at all. And Ravan knows he is wrong, but that's how it is. He knows he is wrong, but he kept it continuous to send us a message. Not ke bhai, to tell us ke bhai, in this world, jid ne હું કહેવાય ભૂલી ગયો nice word છે no જીત victory જીત નહીં જીત પેલું શું કહેવાય એને આમ when that મગજમાં આવશે ત્યારે I will tell you. Stubbornness, not a stubbornness. To become a stubborn is not a good choice. Ravan was stubborn. Kans was stubborn. And that's why that didn't allow them to be what they're dealing with it. Who they're dealing with it. Hanumanji Maharaj went back. Now preparation started. Going there. Before even that too, two incidents I will tell. The first, Vibhishan explained to the Ravan, Bhai, stop it now, they are at that now our doorstep. They build a bridge, they hear, you can avoid this. And Ravan says, get out from my place. He threw him out. Where the Vibhishan went? Bhagavan Shiva. Second incident. Third, before even war opened, Angad went. Angad went as a peace messenger. Like Krishna Bhagavan went as a peace messenger, similarly Angad went as a peace messenger. And then Ravan says, Bhai, I'm respecting you as a monkey, otherwise I would have killed you right now. And he said, Angad says, Bhai, if he is like that, if you said like that, I don't even have to ask Bhagwan Sri Ram, but I'm giving my word. You as a Ravana, and in your entire assembly, anyone can remove my this 1 foot, 1 inch from this spot, Bhagwan Sri Ram will go back without taking Sita Mata. I'm giving my word. I don't even have to ask Bhagwan Sri Ram, do it right now. That much confidence Angad had it. Not on his capacity of the strength, but he had a full trust. Word which is I am giving, Bhagwan Sri Ram will take care of it. And he will not allow let me down at any cost. And everybody tried it, including Ravan. But nothing happened. Subject is 3-4 incidents happen for Ravan to understand. Similarly, but that difficulty of it was stubbornness. Now I don't want, and then declinement happened. Kans started with her. The first Kans sent a Putna to kill Krishna. What happened? Putna got killed. 2-3 other went. They all got killed. If I'm going to start that story, then we will not finish. So I'm just bypassing whole stories. Finally, you know what, logically if you look at that, people like Kans, how can create a conspiracy against 5-year-old child? Krishna Bhagavan was that time small, like 5 to 6 year old. And mantra says, Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kansa Chanur Mardanam. Kansa Chanur Mardanam means Kansa and Chanur. These are the two was the last people who Krishna Bhagavan has actually killed. And Krishna Bhagavan called, the Kans has called Krishna Bhagavan because after he tried it everything, he did not succeed. So now how to bring that person into this battlefield? It was like, not like full-fledged war, but it was battlefield. So he created a whole conspiracy and then say, okay, bring him. And eventually, Kans got killed by the Krishna Bhagavan. And then after all those things, despite Shishupal was another one, he was always against the Krishna. Consistent, always against. Then Krishna, and actually I have spoken about it, then Krishna Bhagavan decided not to stay in Mathura. Not to stay in Mathura. And then he left Dwarika. It's not because Krishna Bhagavan was cowed. It's not because Krishna Bhagavan cannot handle people like Shishupal and many other. But Krishna Bhagavan says, I want peace in my kingdom. I don't want my people to stay in fear, in anxiety, in stress all the time consistently. That is why to keep the peace, let me go. And Krishna Bhagavan left Mathura and went to Dwarika Nagari. Here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says same thing. And then always Ashwin Bhai says very nice word. Okay, bhai, you cannot argue with the stupid because they will beat you with the experience. They will take you the level of them down and they will beat you with the experience. This is the right word. This is the right things. What in short, what I have spoken 30-40 minutes. In short, that is Bhagavan Sri Krishna says. Don't argue with the stupid, otherwise they will bring you down to them level and they will beat you with the experience. That's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, thank you very much, let me go now. Moha, Maya, very dangerous. And now we coming to the last little bit about the Shivratri. Now the Shivratri is coming to the next week, Monday. We're not going to have a Bhagavad Gita talk because this time we will be prepared for the Shivratri function. It will be a live one as you're watching right now on YouTube, so you can do it. But let us try to understand what type of the Shivling we can use on Shivratri night. Many times devotees get confused, कि oh, for one day, must I buy the new Shivling or not? I don't get the Shivling in my town. I don't have a capacity to buy the Shivling. Or I am a student. I am living into the residence and I can't buy the Shivling. I have a very small place. Many things. And we can understand that things. But I want to worship. What must I do? So that's where I will come from the Ramayana. In the Ramayana time, Bhagwan Sri Ram was preparing to go towards the Lanka, and then they was there at the ocean beach. Okay, we need to start building the bridge and what to do and everything. And then Bhagwan Sri Ram also have all the time, Bhagwan Sri Ram used to worship the Bhagwan Sri Mahadev. But there too, there was no Shivling. There was no Shivling. And that time, who make the marble Shivling at particular, while everybody is in concern about how to go that side and that is the South India, and marble Shivling available in Rajasthan in the middle of the Madhya Bharata, like almost, if I'm not wrong, maybe 500-600 kilometers far from that. And Bhagwan Sri Ram can't carry the Shivling too. So then Bhagwan Sri Ram built its own Shivling with the sand, sea sand. He used the sea sand and he made the Shivling and he worshipped the Shiv, Mahadev. And that is why it's known called the Rameshwar Mahadev. In South India, naam bhuli gaya main. Saurashtra Somnath, Sri Shaile Mallikarjuna, Jainya Mahakala, Omkala, Paralyam Vedana, Dakinyam. Setu Bandetu Rameshwam. Setu means ke build, bridge. અને એ કઈ જગ્યાએ છે Rameshwaram Dham in South India. That place called the Rameshwaram, where the Bhagwan Sri Ram himself has made a Shivling with the sea sand. So that alone tells us, even if we don't have a Shivling in our house, we can make a Parthiv Shivling with the sand, sea sand or clay, garden soil. With that, we can make a temporary Shivling. We can worship that Shivling during the night on the Shivratri. And next morning, we can take that Shivling and put it into the sea or ocean or river. If not, then merge into the earth element. That will give a equivalence benefit where the people like us who worship the Shivling in a mandir. Even if we don't have a Shivling, we can use that type of Shivling too, to make it our Shivratri. And Bhagwan Shiv is so kind. Bhagwan Shiv is so kind He blesses everybody. And that's why sometime Vishnu Bhagavan tells to Shankar Bhagavan, you're giving blessings everybody, now you're putting me in a trouble because you do that mess and now I have to correct it. Any demons comes to you, you said blessings, blessings, blessings. Now though, after taking the blessings from you, now they create the havoc into the planet Earth. Now I must go and correct it all. It's just a joke, but that is how Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev, Bholanath, kind. Anybody asks anything to him, he gives. So that is why in the Shivratri night, there was one thief actually. He was hunter actually, night hunter. We have a day hunter, night hunter. Some people goes in the night only to hunt some kind of the special bird and animal, something. So he was like that. Now that night was Shivratri, and he went on the tree and he was looking his shikar to hunt something. Well, when you look for it, those who go for the fishing, they know basically. To catch the one fish in the night, you have to spend like 4 or 5 hours. And while you throw that string, fishing tackle, you just do funny things, all those things. In these days, people do many funny things. Instead of that, if they chant Om Namah Shivaya, that helps also. But anyway, so here that person also same situation, okay, let me wait for my shikar. And then eventually, he was on the tree and he was throwing that leaves on the ground. Under that tree there was Shivling, not knowing that is Shivling, not chanting even Om Namah Shivaya, as I said, just passing the time. Throughout the night, there was nothing, he got nothing as like hunting. But in 4 o'clock in the morning, Bhagavan Shiva appeared in front of him. What you want? But he said, who you are? He said, I am Shankar Bhagavan. But who called you? And how did you come here? Because I am waiting for that. He don't know anything about it. He says, I am the Supreme Almighty God and I want to bless you. But what I have done? He said, innocently, you have thrown this Bilipatra on me throughout the night of the Shankar, on the Shivratri night. Now is my duty to give you a blessing. Subject what I want to draw attention here is, even that Shivratri night, even if you don't do anything, and even if we chant Om Namah Shivaya Mahamantra, there alone will be bless us and will remove our pain, sorrow and everything. And mainly, Bhagavan Shiv, one thing he does is keep our health good. Trembaka mantra, Mrityunjaya mantra, Mrityu upar Vijaya. Mrityunjaya mantra, Trembaka mantra, Om Trembakam Yajamahe, that mantra is known as a Mrityunjaya mantra, victory over the death. Those who chant that Trembaka mantra consistently, Bhagavan Shiva Mahadev protect them from all kind of the accidental death. Death is inevitable. Everybody is going to die. Nobody is going to be immortal. But accidental death, unwanted death, Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev protect. And there is no difference between Hanumanji Maharaj and Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev. And that is why, coming back to that story where Hanumanji Maharaj, Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev, Bhagavan Sri Ram, and Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev went to the Krishna Bhagavan in Mathura Nagri when he was small. They all are equal. There is no difference between Krishna and Shiv and Ram and Hanumanji Maharaj. They all are the same. So indirectly, when we worship the Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev, we worshipping the Hanumanji Maharaj, we worshipping the Bhagavan Shiv Vishnu. That means that peace, prosperity, happiness and success comes in our life by worshipping the Bhagavan Shiv Mahadev on Shivratri night. Mahashivratri is the festival which is technically is the festival, if you look at that way, is the first festival of the calendar. Like first festival, when we start calendar, our Hindu calendar. This is the biggest festival start like Mahashivratri. Why? Because Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev destroy anger, ego, greed and desire. And that's where our channel start. એક વખત ક્યારની વાત હતી? I don't know, but anyway, somebody asked me. Few years ago it was. Okay, we worship the Ganapati Maharaj first in our all Hindu prayers. But why the Shankar Bhagwan first we starting? When the celebration start, Shankar Bhagwan celebration starting first and Ganapati Bhagwan is last one. Why that is happening? Our મગજ આગળ વિચારવા પડી ગયો કે વારું normally is not the case actually. It's all about the birthday story actually. The big days comes according to the Panchanga. So it's nice this question, like sometimes no question is a stupid question. All question is a good question. Because that clears our doubt. And once that clear our doubt and we understand better. Now this question, if you look at normal, any youngsters can ask. Because only they knows that first Ganpati Bhagwan come and then everybody come. So why the Ganpati Bhagwan is the last? It's a common question. But if you look at that way, then in our house we have 3 children. If someone take a birth the first child take a birth in July and the last child take a birth in January, so whose birthday will come first? The last child birthday will come first. And then middle birthday will be celebrated, but the first child will celebrate his birthday on middle of the year. So sequence is like that. Is not who is big and who is small. It's the way the calendar and the big incidents happens. So on that day, the Shivratri night, divine aura, Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev, Mahashivratri, Mahamantha. On that night, because Shivratri every month come. Shivratri is every month come, but this is a Mahashivratri. We have a Punam, means ke Purnima, full moon, every month come. But Sharad Punam is one. We have a Amas, new moon, every month come. But Diwali is one. Diwali also falls in new moon day. Similarly, we have a Shivratri every month, but Mahashivratri is one. And that is 28th of February, Monday night. We all going to be worship the Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev with our devotion. You can join us on YouTube. You can come to the mandir too. And we will pray nicely to Bhagwan Shiv Mahadev. Even if you can't do anything, encourage as many people to chant Om Namah Shivaya mantra. That best things we can do it. And in the same time, as I always say, devotion must come with the true faith and trust. Do it minimum, but do with faith and trust. Sometimes we ask why the South Africa 28 and India first. This year is slightly changed, but we always look the local sunrise and local sunset. And I will not go in depth explanation because that message already has been went out from our side, detailed explanations. But in short, to make us understand, when I was in Mozambique years ago, then the question was asked to me that why don't we celebrate 8:30 Krishna Jayanti, 8:30 in the evening, because already India is at 12 o'clock and everything. But we consider local time, local sunset, local sunrise and everything. But as Bhagwan Sri Krishna says, we can't explain different Svabhav people. They just come with the one mindset. So then we have to use the language which they understand. So I said, okay, no problem. We will do it 8:30 in the morning or 8:30 in the afternoon, in the evening. But from next morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, you must open the shop. He said, how can I open the 4 o'clock the shop? But I said, 7:30 is already in India. Then you must sleep 7 o'clock in the night in South Africa, here in Mozambique, because already 10 o'clock is there. 7:30 you must go to sleep. He said, but how can I sleep 7:30 in the evening? But I said, already 10:30 there. So you must have your lunch or supper 4 o'clock. But how can 7 o'clock is in India? Then they understand it doesn't work like that. So India is a different country. South Africa is a different continent. South Africa, we are right now in a summer. India in a winter. India have a different time zone. Although we consider 3.5 hours, but it's completely different time zone. Completely different time zone. South Africa time, sunset time is different. Sunrise time is different. Atmosphere is different. And everything is different. On that ground, we have decided to celebrate on 28 because what is for us, not what is for the India. If we understand that ground, then the Australia celebrate New Year one day earlier than us, and America celebrate New Year one day later than us. Why there is no synchronization on that one? Because every continent is different, every time zone is different, everything is different. So whatever is the best, and whatever the best alignment, the panchang on that day, the panchang makers decide that day we're going to celebrate a festival. And that is why we're going to celebrate 28th of February in Monday in South Africa. But before we celebrate Monday, Shiv Mahadev Mahashivratri on Monday, let us do the Aarti now because we haven't ended yet. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Hare Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namah Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. हेलो सांझ पड़े दिनयाथ में चकवा चकवीरो चलो चकवा क्या जय सांझ पड़े मत रोय गौरी पूछे गोरिया कौन भले रो देश संपत होय तो घर भला नहीं तो भलो परदेश तिमिर गયું रवि देखता कुबुद्धि गई गुरु ज्ञान संपत गई अति लोभ से भक्ति गई अभिमान अभिमानी कुंजर भयो लियो अपने सिर भार ताके जमरा कूट से जम लोढ़ गड़े लुहार श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओम जय काना काड़ा प्रभु जय काना काड़ा मीठी मोरल वाड़ा मीठी मोरल वाड़ा गोपीना प्यारा। ओम जय काना काड़ा कामण गारा का
પ્રભુ કામણ બહુ કીધા, માખણ ચોરી મોહન માખણ ચોરી, મોહન ચિત ચોરી લીધા. ઓમ જય કાના કાણા નંદ જશોદા ઘેર વૈકુંઠયુતા, પ્રભુ વૈકુંઠયુતાર્યું. કાલિયા મર્દન કીધું, કાલિયા મર્દન કીધું, ગાયો ને ચાર. ઓમ જય કાના કાળા ગુણતના તુજ પાર કે મેં નહીં આપ, પ્રભુ કે મેં નહીં આવે. નેતિ વેદ પુકારે, નેતિ વેદ પુકારે, પુનિત શુંગાવે. ઓમ જય કાના કાળા, ઓમ જય કાના કાળા, પ્રભુ જય કાના કાળા. મીઠી મોરલી વાળા, મીઠી મોરલી વાળા, ગોપીના પ્યારા. ઓમ જય કાના કાળા, ઓમ જય કાના કાળા, ઓમ જય કાના કાળા. કપૂર ગૌરમ કરુણાવતારમ સંસાર સારમ ભુજગેન્દ્રહારમ સદા વસંતમ હૃદયારવિંદે ભવમ ભવાની સહિતમ નમામિ. મંગલમ ભગવાન વિષ્ણુ મંગલમ ગરુડધ્વજ મંગલમ પુંડરીકાક્ષ મંગલાય તનોહરિ. સર્વમંગલ માંગલ્યે શિવે સર્વાર્થ સાધિકે શરણ્યે ત્રંબકે ગૌરી નારાયણી નમોસ્તુતે, નારાયણી નમોસ્તુતે, નારાયણી નમોસ્તુતે. શ્રી રાધે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. જલેન શુદ્ધીકરણમ કુર્યાત. દેવતાનામ અભિવંદનમ સ્થાપિત દેવતાભ્યો નમઃ. નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ, નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ, નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ, નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ, નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ, નિરાંજનમ સમર્પયામિ. આરાર્તિક્યમ સમર્પયામિ. યશ આરોગ્ય પ્રાપ્તિ અર્થ સ્વાત્માનામ અભિવંદનમ પાત્રાદ્વયસ્તમ પ્રક્ષાલ્ય. શ્રી રામચંદ્ર કૃપાળુ ભજમન હરન ભવ ભય દારુણમ નવ કંજલોચન કંજ મુખ કર કંજ પદ કંજારુણમ કંદર્પય ગણિત અમિત છવિ નવ નીલ નીરજ સુંદરમ પટપીતમાનૌ તડિત રુચિ શુચિ નૌમિ જનક સુતા. શિરમુકુટ કુંડલ તિલક ચારુ ઉદાર અંગ વિભૂષણમ આજાનુભુજ સર ચાપધરુ સંગ્રામ જીત ખરદુ. ભજુ દીન બંધુ દિનેશ દાનવ દૈત્ય વંશ નિકંદ રઘુનંદ આનંદ કંદ કૌશલ્ય ચંદ્ર દશરથ નંદનમ ઇતિ વદિત તુલસીદાસ શંકર શેષ મુનિ મનરંજન મમ હૃદય કુંજ નિવાસ કુરુ કામા શિખલદલ રંજનમ. સિયાવર રામચંદ્ર ભગવાન કી જય. રાધે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. ગણપતિ મહારાજ કી જય. વિઘ્નેશ્વરાય વરદાય સુરપ્રિયાય લંબોદરાય સકલાય જગદ્વિતાય નાગાનનાય શ્રુતિયજ્ઞ વિભૂષિતામ ગૌરીસુતાય ગણનાથ નમો નમસ્તે. ગણપતિ મહારાજ કી જય. ઉમાપતિ મહાદેવ કી જય. સ્મશાનેશ્વા ક્રીડા સ્મરહર પિશાચા સહચરા શ્ચિતાભસ્માલેપમ સૃગપિનુકરોટી પરિકરમ અમંગલ્યમ શીલમ તવ ભવતુ નામેવમખિલમ તથાપિ સ્મર્તॄણાં વરદ પરમં મંગલમસી ઉમાપતિ મહાદેવ. રાધે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી, કૃષ્ણ કનૈયાલાલ કી જય, બાલકૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. શાંતાકારં ભુજગશયनं પદ્મનાભં સુરેશં વિશ્વાધારં ગગનસદૃશં મેઘવર્ણં શુભાંગં લક્ષ્મીકાન્तं કમલનયनं યોગિવિરધ્યાનગમ્યં વંદે વિષ્ણું ભવભયહરં સર્વલોકૈકનાથં વસુદેવં સુतं દેવં કંસચાણૂરમર્દनं દેવકી પરમાનંદં કૃષ્ણં વંદે જગદ્ગુરું. આકાશાत् પતિतं યોऽયં યથા ગચ્છતિ સર્વદેવો નમસ્કારં કેશવં પ્રતિગચ્છતિ મુખં કરોતિ વાચાલં પંગુલંઘયતે ગિરિં યત્કૃપાત્વમહં વંદે પરમાનંદમમાધવં. ત્વમેવ માતાશ્ચ પિતા ત્વમેવ બંધુશ્ચ સખા ત્વમેવ વિદ્યાદ્રવિણં ત્વમેવ સર્વં મમ દેવદેવં. ગુરુર્બ્રહ્મા ગુરુર્વિષ્ણુ ગુરુર્દેવો મહેશ્વરં ગુરુર્સાક્ષાत् પરબ્રહ્મ તસ્मै શ્રી ગુરુવે નમઃ. અસુતગિરિસમં સ્યાत् કજ્જलं સિન્ધુપાત્રે સુરતરુવરશાખા લેખને પત્રમુરવી લિખત યદિ ગૃહીત્વાં શારદા સર્વકાલં તદવિધિ તવ ગુણાનાં મીશપારમ. રાધે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. જય જય જગદંબે આદ્યશક્તિ ભવાની માંબે માત કી જય. નમો દેવ્યૈ મહાદેવ્યૈ શિવાયૈ સતतं નમઃ. નમઃ પ્રકૃત્यै ભદ્રાयै નિયતાં પ્રણતા સ્મતાં વિદ્યુદ્દામ સમપ્રભાં મૃગપતિં સ્કંદસ્થિતાં ભીષણાં કન્યાભીકરવાલખેટવિલસહસ્તાभिरासेवितां હસ્તૈશ્ચક્રધરાલિખેટવિશિખાંશ્ચાપं ગુણાં તર્જનીં બિભ્રાણાं મનલાત્મિકાં શશિધરાં દુર્ગાં ત્રિનેત્રાં ભજે દુર્ગાં ત્રિનેત્રાં ભજે દુર્ગાં ત્રિનેત્રાં ભજે. અંબે માત કી જય, આશાપુરી માત કી જય, મહાલક્ષ્મી માત કી જય. રાધે કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. કૃષ્ણ કનૈયાલાલ બાલકૃષ્ણ ભગવાન કી જય. ઉમાપતિ મહાદેવ કી જય. ગણપતિ મહારાજ કી. ઓમ નમઃ પાર્વતી પતય. હર હર મહાદેવ હર. ઓમ નમસ્તે અમારા અહો પ્રાણદાતા, નમસ્તે અમારા પિતા માતા ભ્રાત, નમસ્તે મહાદેવ જોડિત વિહસ્તે, નમસ્તે પ્રભુ